Welcome to Flow into Alignment. Today I'm going to be bringing you a class all about downward facing dog. So all of the yoga poses that we're going to be doing are all focused on preparing the body for downward facing dog. So working on the hamstrings, and then also getting you the strength that you need for downward facing dog, so working on the core, and then also doing the counter poses to downward facing dog, so backward bends and such like that. And it's going to be an hour-long class, and it's going to be more in the Ashtanga style based type of flow. But first, we're going to talk about how, going through a couple Bible verses to talk about how God renews our strength, because a lot of times downward facing dog is called a resting pose, and it kind of renews your strength as you are going through a really strong, hard yoga flow. So join me today as I go through the quick Bible study and then a flow dedicated and focused on downward facing dog. So for our scripture verses today, we're going to focus on renewing strength, and I'm looking in this direction because I'm looking at my laptop to make sure I'm pulling up the correct Bible verses. So renewing your strength. So yes, downward facing dog doesn't always feel like a resting pose, but when you have been in a really hard power flow class or a really hard Ashtanga style class where you are being wrung out, you're going to feel like downward facing dog is absolutely a resting pose and a pose where you can kind of renew your strength. So that's why I'm going to focus on those Bible verses. So we're going to first look at Isaiah 40:29 through 31. He gives strength. This is talking about God. God gives strength to those who are tired. To the ones who lack power, he gives renewed energy. Even youths or young people get tired and weary. Even strong young men clumsily stumble. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. But those who wait for the Lord's help find renewed strength. They rise up as if they have eagle's wings. They run without growing weary. They walk without getting tired. Then we have Psalms 103:5. So we kind of jump right into the Psalm with 103:5, and I'll read a couple verses before it, but I'll start with verse 5. Who, speaking about God, satisfies your life with good things, so your youth is renewed like an eagle's. Let's start at the very top. Praise the Lord, O my soul, with all that is within me. Praise his holy name. Praise the Lord, O my soul. Do not forget all his kind deeds. He is the one who forgives all your sins and heals all your diseases, who delivers your life from the pit, who crowns you with his loyal love and compassion, who satisfies your life with good things, so your youth is renewed like eagles. So we see here that God gives us strength, and God renews our energy and renews our strength. So we're going to remember those verses that we read today. We're going to remember Isaiah 40:29 through 31, and we're going to remember Psalms 103:5 as we move through this yoga flow. So let's go ahead and start. We're going to start in child's pose. You can choose to do child's pose either supported or unsupported, and that could mean either just coming to extended child's pose here or coming to extended child's pose with blocks underneath, one block underneath your chest and one underneath your head. So whichever way you wish to go about that, just making sure my microphone isn't being crushed on the block here. You're going to come into child's pose, and you're going to rest in child's pose. Taking long, deep inhales and exhales. You want to position your tongue in your mouth in a way that allows for your deep inhales and exhales through your nose. For myself, that means taking the tip of my tongue and pressing it to the backs of my teeth, and then pressing just the very tip of my tongue towards the roof of my mouth, either touching the roof of my mouth or almost touching the roof of my mouth. And that positions my tongue in a way that allows for deep inhales and exhales through my nose, allowing space for all the air to enter my lungs and to leave my lungs. And so you can do the same thing as well.
making sure that the inhales and exhales feel easy and not forced and difficult. Also feeling your rib cage expanding and contracting. If child's pose is a position that is not possible for you, feel free to be in a seated position. You can also lay down with your feet planted flat on the ground and your knees touching. So you can come into any of these positions as you start here. If you're still in child's pose, you're going to take your next inhale. If you have the block underneath your head, go ahead and move that out of your way. Take your right arm and right hand and reach it over to the left. Take a nice side stretch of the right side of your body. If you're in seated position, feel free to take a nice side stretch by lifting up your right arm and reaching towards your left. If you're lying down, you can just reach your arms above your head and take your right arm towards your left. And that way everyone can get a nice side stretch of the right of the body, the right side of your body. On your next inhale, look up and move your hand back out to the right and take your left hand and join the right. Nice stretch of the left side. On your inhale, lift your head, bring your hands open, and exhale, come up to tabletop. If tabletop is difficult for you because of your knees, make sure that you roll up a towel or a blanket and put that underneath your knees. In tabletop, you're going to gently press into your fingertips, pressing your chest away from the floor. You're going to press gently into your shins. As my cat decides she doesn't want to participate anymore. Gently activating your core, long deep breaths. On your next inhale, keep pressing your shins into the ground, lift your belly button to your spine. Maybe slide your chest forward a little bit, lift your chin into cow. Maybe lift your tailbone and also slide your shoulder blades toward your spine, creating an arch in the back for cow. As you exhale, tuck your chin and your tailbone. Pretty nice tight curve for your cat position. Inhale, lifting up to cow. Really squeeze your shoulder blades towards the spine. Exhale, tuck tightly into cat. Inhale, last time, lifting up to cow. Exhale, tuck into cat. From here, we're going to move into puppy pose. Again, everything is getting ready for, at this moment, getting ready for downward facing dog. So puppy pose is an alternative to downward facing dog, just like a child's pose is. So for puppy pose, you can always bring a chair to kind of be at your hips to make sure that you're keeping your hips in line. You can also bring a block between the legs to really activate your legs and core to make sure that you're supporting yourself as you walk your hands out. Try not to move your hips as you walk your hands out, and then just dive straight down towards the ground. Forehead touches the ground or forehead on a block for puppy pose. Taking long deep breaths. Feeling the expansion between your armpits and your shoulder blades. You do not want to feel your shoulder blades squeezing towards your spine. You want to feel space in the back and in your chest. Long deep breaths, gently pressing into your palms, feeling the stretch in your armpits. As you inhale, lift your head and walk your hands back up to tabletop. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, exhale, walk your hands out, dive down to puppy pose. pressing your shins into the ground to make sure you don't feel like you're not going to help you not fall forward. Try not to arch in your lower back either. You can gently tuck your tailbone towards your heels. Inhale, lift your head, walk your hands back. From here, we're going to let our hips sink back. We're going to do some more stretching of the hands and the arms. So you're going to put your blocks out in front of you. You can put them at the highest position if you want, at a higher position if you want, not the highest, but a higher position. And we're going to move into child's pose, but we're going to focus on stretching out the arms. So your hands are going to be mat width on your blocks. You're going to reach those arms out, reach your arms out, hands pressing into the blocks. Head can bend towards the ground or rest on a block. Long, deep breaths, feeling the gentle stretch of your arms, helping to create length in the area between your ribs and your upper arms, which is the area that we want to see have length in to help with downward facing dog. If this feels too deep of a stretch, feel free to lower your blocks down to a lower position and resume that gentle press into the palms. Head gently releases towards the ground or block. On your inhale, lift up. Bring your blocks closer, but still keep them wide apart. This time you're going to place your elbows on the blocks, and you're going to start with arms extended. You're going to press your arms into the blocks as you allow your head to sink towards the mat. Your palms are going to be facing each other here for just a few breaths. On your next inhale, if you want to lift your head slightly, you can. You're going to bend your arms. Your elbows are pressing into the blocks, and your hands are going to be in prayer behind your head, in between your shoulder blades. If you need to, maybe walk your blocks just a little bit closer. You're going to just be a little bit too wide. And press your elbows into the blocks. You can gently press your palms together, getting a gentle tricep stretch, a little bit more of a tricep stretch here. Long, deep breaths. Head can sink towards the floor, the mat, or a block. Long, deep breaths in and out of your nose. On your inhale, release your hands back down towards the mat. Lift your head and walk yourself back up into tabletop. Feel free to move around a little bit more if you wish. Otherwise, you're going to come into a comfortable seated position. You can be on a block, you can be seated on the ground with your legs straight or crossed, however you wish to be in your seated position. And then we're going to stretch out the arms a little bit from the back side. So we're going to do eagle arms. You're going to bring your arms out and extend them out. So first we're going to stretch the arms out, really stretching them as far away from you as you can. Let's also warm up the wrist as we do so. So you're going to flex your fingertips up, reaching the wrist as far away from you as you can. As you exhale, curl the fingertips towards your forearms. Again, we're going to inhale, flex the palms, exhale, curl. Inhale, flex, exhale, curl. Inhale, flex, exhale, curl. On your next inhale, let's take the right arm over top of the left, and you're going to cross your elbows. Then you're going to bend the elbows up towards your face. Your hands are coming towards your face, and you're going to see if you can keep twisting your forearms around each other. If this is a difficult position for you, then what you're going to do is extend your arms out. Right arm is going to cross over left. Face your palms together. Clasp your fingers. Take the hands down towards the ground, up towards your chest, and then here. So you're still going to get that stretch back here, but it's in a position that's a little bit easier for you to do if you cannot do the eagle. So again, cross right over left, clasp your hands, bring them up and through. Otherwise, if you can do the eagle, you're going to keep twisting the hands around. And wherever you're at, you're going, let me turn a little bit to the side so you can see me better. You're going to let your chin tuck towards your chest. You're going to use your pectoral muscles, your chest, to squeeze your arms towards each other and to help support your arms. And you're going to gently lift your elbows up. Long, deep breaths. You should feel this behind, kind of in the shoulder blade area, maybe in the area between your shoulder blades and your spine. Long, deep breaths here. As you exhale, release the arms slowly. Maybe give them a little shake. Also remember, as you're seated here, to make sure to gently engage your legs and your core. So thinking about squeezing your legs toward each other and lifting your pelvic floor gently and just holding your lower abdominal muscles. We're going to stretch the arms out. We're going to take a little flex of the hands. Inhale, exhale, curl. Inhale, exhale, curl. Inhale, exhale, curl. Inhale, last time. As you exhale, cross the left arm over the right. If you cannot twist all the way around with your forearms, you're going to take the left arm over the right, palms face, clasp the hands. Our hands down towards the ground, up towards your chin, and then towards your head. Otherwise, you can come into that full twisted eagle pose. Tuck your chin, lift your elbows, squeeze your arms towards each other, squeeze your legs towards each other, engage your core, helping to support your spine and therefore your arms. Using your pectoral or chest muscles to gently squeeze your arms towards each other to give them support. Feeling the stretch along the back. On your next inhale, release the arms. Maybe give them a little shake. Exhale. Good. Last arm stretch we're going to do before we move fully into our flow is going to be happy cow face arms. And there's several different ways to do that. The fullest expression is to take the one arm behind your back, the other arm up, and you would clasp your fingertips together, coming into a full deep bind. Now, sometimes that is not easy to do, especially maybe when you're not quite warmed up enough. So the first variation of that is just to take the arms behind your back around your waist and just clasp onto your forearms, your elbows, or your wrists. And it still takes your shoulders into that stretch position of the front of the shoulders. So we're going to hold this position here, or you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine, keeping this elbow close to your torso, and lift that right hand towards your left shoulder blade or towards your spine, left arm up and clasping together. You're going to use your shoulder blades gently squeezing towards the spine and your biceps to hold this position. You do not want to use your shoulder muscles to hold this position. So really feel your bicep pulling your forearms towards them. So you want to feel that squeeze like so. Right? As if you're trying to lift a weight and you're feeling your bicep squeeze. That's the sensation you want to have in either this position or this position. So wherever you're at, just take long, deep inhales holding this position. If you wish and you're in a comfortable seated position and you want to lean forward with this, Feel free to lean forward, giving yourself also a gentle hip stretch at the same time. Long, deep breaths. Remember, in and out of your nose, nice, slow, and deep. As you exhale, keep your elbows close to your torso and slowly release your arms wherever they're at. Shake them out a little bit, gently roll them out. And the reason why you want to keep your elbows close to your torso as you release your arms is just to keep your shoulder joint safe, and you're not going to accidentally pop it out of socket or accidentally hurt it in any way. Because if the elbow extends out, it just puts your shoulder joint into a vulnerable position. So we're going to move to the other side, to the left side. And I'm just going to turn over to the left side since we're taking the left arm. So again, you can bring the arms to the waistline and grab onto it. So that left arm is first, the right arm is second. Or you can squeeze the shoulder blade, squeeze the bicep, slowly bringing that left hand towards the right shoulder blade or spine, lifting the right arm up and squeezing everything, using your biceps and shoulder blades to hold this position no matter where you are. Taking long, deep breaths wherever you're at, keeping your legs and core engaged. Again, if you wish and you're comfortable, you can lean forward, giving yourself a gentle hip stretch, but you do not have to. As you exhale, slowly release the arms, keeping the elbows close to your torso. And we're going to come back to tabletop position and move into the rest of our flow. So from tabletop, we're going to move ourselves into standing position. You can choose to do that by just coming up to a forward fold, or you can move through a variation of down dog. And that's what I'm going to do for myself, so I'm going to guide you through that. Coming from tabletop, you're going to press your chest gently away from the floor, tuck your toes as you inhale. As you exhale, press your hands into the ground, lifting your hips up. Keep your heels high and your knees bent, because again, we're working towards downward facing dog. Tuck your chin towards your chest and hold this for just a moment. On your inhale, lift your hands and walk or step your feet to the top of your mat. Open your feet out hip width. Feel firm pressure in your feet as you take your forward fold. Gently squeezing your legs towards each other. Long, deep breaths, bending your knees as much as you need to. Feel free to also take your arms behind you, clasping your fingers together and taking a gentle stretch of the front of your shoulders. Squeezing your shoulder blades towards the spine just to support the shoulder joint. Long, deep breaths. Only holding this stretch for about 2 to 3 breaths, and then slowly releasing the arms back to just drape down into your forward fold. On your inhale, bend your knees deep, tucking your chin. On your next inhale, slowly roll up, pressing firmly into your feet. Shoulders away from ears, head comes up last. Oh, and be careful with that, because sometimes you can feel the blood rush and you might get a little dizzy, so just be careful. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do what I call half Sun Salutation A. So that is not working on chaturanga yet. That is not working on downward dog yet. Just moving from mountain, high mountain, forward fold, flat back, forward fold, and back up to high mountain. What that's going to be doing is working the hamstrings. So that is part of our downward facing dog, is making sure our hamstrings have some length and also some strength. So that is what we're going to be working on, is hamstring strength and also core strength, because we're going to use a block between the knees. So go ahead and grab your block. You're going to squeeze your block between the knees. This will help activate your inner thighs, your pelvic floor, and your core to help support your hips, which will help keep your hamstrings healthy.
So we're going to press firmly into your feet, feeling pressure in the knuckle of the big toe, the knuckle of the little toe, and your heel. You're going to feel your lower abdominals gently lift towards your belly button. And then you're going to feel your hamstrings gently activate and pull your sit bones down towards your heels, and feel your tailbone reaching down towards the floor. So you're not in an anterior tilt, you're in a neutral pelvis. You're going to feel your shoulder blades just kind of float a little bit towards your spine. You don't want to squeeze them towards your spine, just have a little gentle engagement there so you can have an open chest and a straight spine. Feeling length through the top of your head, through the top of your head. So feeling some distance between your ears and your shoulders. And then you're reaching your fingertips down towards the ground. Taking long, deep breaths. You may feel your belly move, and that's okay. You don't have to hold your abdominal muscles so tight that you can't breathe. You also definitely want to feel your ribs expanding and contracting. Continue to gently squeeze the block. On your next inhale, you're going to reach your arms straight ahead of you and up to high mountain, lifting your chin and eyes up as well. You can press your palms together if you wish, but you do not need to. As you exhale, you're going to reach your arms out ahead of you to be able to hinge on your hips. If that's difficult, just put your hands on your hips and hinge forward to forward fold. Controlling the forward fold, bending the knees if you need to. Tuck your chin with your exhale. Continue to squeeze your block. Keep your weight forward as you inhale, lifting up to flat back. Squeezing your shoulder blades to your spine and belly button to spine. This is my flat back, but if your flat back is lower, that's okay. But I am not mobile enough for that today. On your exhale, tuck your chin back into forward fold. On your inhale, lift through flat back, squeezing your shoulder blades towards your spine. Arms can reach out if you have the strength. Coming all the way back up to standing, arms lift. Exhale, arms back down. And you should already feel a little bit of the burn happening in your hamstrings as they're being worked, as they're being stretched and strengthened. Because you're using your hamstrings to control your forward fold. So you're also activating your quads to help support that. And then as you're coming back up, you're using your hamstrings to help pull you back up to standing. And your glutes are involved in that as well. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale your arms up. Lifting chin. Exhale, hinge at the hips to forward fold. Breathing out through your nose, tucking your chin. Inhale, flat back, belly button and shoulder blades to spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, squeeze shoulder blades towards your spine, coming all the way back up to standing. Exhale, arms down. Good. Let's do that one last time, but let's remove the yoga block this time and see how you do without the yoga block. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at your hips. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, squeezing shoulder blades to spine, glutes engaged, coming all the way back up. Exhale, arms down. Good. Now we're going to do a full Sun Salutation A. So we're going to take that and add on to that with your plank, chaturanga up dog, and into a modified downward facing dog. Because again, we're moving towards a full downward facing dog. So you're going to get your blocks close, and we're going to use our blocks for our chaturanga, our upward dog, and our downward facing dog, just to give us some support here and modify your downward facing dog. So coming into mountain pose, taking an inhale, reaching your arms up to high mountain. Exhale, hinge forward for forward fold. Hands can go on the blocks to the ground if you wish. Inhale, flat back. Hands can stay on the blocks or go to your thighs.
Exhale, forward fold, and placing your hands down at the block. Gonna look out towards the front of your mat as you step back into plank with your exhale. Continue to exhale as you move into chaturanga. Feel free to bend the knees down to modify chaturanga. Inhale, tuck your chin, squeeze shoulder blades towards your spine, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your chin and your toes, press your hands into the blocks, and move into downward facing dog. You can choose to see if you want to let the heels go down to the ground or still modify your downward facing dog by lifting your heels, bending your knees, keeping your hips high, and coming to a bent knee downward facing dog. Long, deep breaths. Gently taking your upper arms and rotating them in towards the center. So that means that the crease of your elbow is coming towards your face, not the back, not towards your knee. So you want to see the crease. When you look from side to side, you want to see the crease of your elbow. And then again, rest your head back. What that does is the rotation of the upper arms in that position helps keep the shoulder blade in the correct alignment as well as your shoulder to be able to allow you to be in this downward facing dog position. On your inhale, look to the top of your mat, lift your heels, bend your knees, step or walk or even hop to the top of your mat. Shift your weight forward as you inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms can reach out, shoulder blades towards the spine, squeeze glutes, coming all the way up. Exhale, arms down. Next, we're going to move into a Sun Salutation B. And to some, it's called classical Sun Salutation B because we're going to be moving through a half moon position of the legs. But to some others, it is full Sun Salutation B. So that's what we're going to do. Again, we're going to use our blocks to be in modified downward facing dog as we transition. So keep your blocks where they are. Going to come into mountain pose. And from here, you have two different versions of chair pose you can do. You can do the Ashtanga style, which is shoulders directly over hips in chair pose. Or you can do the other version of chair pose, which is allowing yourself to come into a tilt and being in more of a forward lean of the torso in chair pose. The important thing to remember for both chair poses is that the tailbone is pointing directly down towards the ground. You are not in an anterior tilt of the hips. So you are activating your inner thighs, your pelvic floor, and your core to support yourself here. And you're either stacking the shoulders directly over the hips or you're hinging forward. Taking your long, deep breaths wherever you're at. I'm going to go into more Ashtanga style. You can squeeze your palms towards each other if you wish. On your exhale, take your forward fold. Inhale, flat back, keeping your weight forward, shoulder blades to the spine. Exhale, hands go to the block, stepping back. With your right leg, dropping down to your knee, coming into half moon, kneeling half moon. Inhale your arms up, feeling a gentle stretch in the front of your back thigh. So you should feel a gentle stretch here. Exhale, hands back down to the mat, tuck your back toes under, step back to downward facing dog, either bent knees or straight legs, your choice. Taking a couple breaths here. On your inhale, you're gonna lift your right leg right foot off the ground, pull the right knee to your chest, step the right foot forward, drop the left knee down, half moon to the other side. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, hands down, and step the left foot forward into your forward fold with your exhale. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bending the knees, coming into chair, tailbone down. You can either have that lean forward or hinge forward or straight up and down.
Exhale, coming to standing. Good, let's do that one more time. Inhale into chair. Again, you can press your palms together if you wish. Exhale, forward fold. Whoop. Too much weight forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step your left foot back for that kneeling half moon. Inhale, lifting up, arms up, feeling a gentle stretch in the front of the back thigh, so that's the left thigh. Exhale, hands down, tuck your left toe, step back, downward facing dog, whichever version. Taking a couple breaths. Inhale, stepping your left foot forward this time, dropping the right knee. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down, and stepping your right foot forward into forward fold. Exhale, inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale into chair. Again, hinge forward or shoulders right over hips. Exhale, standing. Good. From here, we're going to move into seated positions to release tight hips and arms and shoulders. Still, again, working on everything to do with downward facing dog. So you can choose to just come right down into a seated position, or you can take a full Sun Salutation A and explore a full downward facing dog before you come into seated. So that's what I'm going to do and lead you through. I'm going to move my blocks out of the way. You take an inhale, reaching your arms up, pressing your palms together if you wish, shoulder blades towards your spine. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at your hips. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hop or step back into your plank and into your full chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, moving into your full downward facing dog. Feeling the rotation of your upper arms, making sure that the creases of your elbows are towards your face, creating space between your shoulders and your ears. Long, deep breaths. Inhale, look to the hands, bend the knees, and you can hop forward into seated or swing your legs around. Come forward however you want to come into seated position. The first thing we're going to work on is the abdominals and making sure we get the abdominals and your hip flexors strong and ready for downward facing dog. So we're going to come into the position for boat pose. And you can do different variations of boat pose. You can just keep your feet flat on the ground. You can lift your heels and keep your toes on the ground. You can lift your feet straight off the ground, but keep your heels and feet close to you, or you can slowly stretch your legs out till you come up to a full straight leg position. And you can even explore the bound boat pose. I'm not sure if I can demonstrate it yet. Oh, I can, okay. So you can explore even the bound boat pose as well. So you're going to come to your version of boat pose, making sure that your spine is straight. And you either want to sit straight up on your sit bones or have just a little bit of a curve. You don't want to be in a full curve, so you don't want to be here in this position. You do want to just sit back just a little bit off of your sit bones if you have a slight curve. You squeeze everything into the center line to really activate your core. And we're going to hold this for 4 breaths. Whatever version you're doing, you're going to activate your feet and your legs and your core. And here we go for 1. Breathing in and out of your nose. 2. 3. 4. And release down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Again, coming into your version of boat pose. for 1, 2, 3, 4, and coming down, releasing, holding for just a moment, resting. One last time. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, and coming down and resting for just a moment. From here, you can choose to vinyasa through to come back into seated. We're next going to do happy cow face. Or you can go right from this position into your happy cow face. But I'll lead you through vinyasa just in case you want to do that. Again, exploring your downward facing dog. So from this position, you're going to place your hands down. You can always have blocks right underneath your hands if you need them. You're going to lift your feet up, cross one over the other, or swing your legs around. If you're wanting to hop back, you're going to inhale, lift your hips up and lift your feet up, stepping back into your plank, exhaling chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Again, modifying wherever you need to. Exploring your downward facing dog. On your inhale, look to your hands, bend your knees, and you're going to come into a kneeling position for happy cow face. So what that is you're going to come into a kneeling position where one knee is behind the other, and both feet are away from your hips. So from the front, it looks like this position here. And you're going to take a block if you need to, and sit back into your happy cow face position. If this position is inaccessible to you, this does not feel comfortable, your knees do not like this, your feet do not like this, then what you would do is you would extend your left leg out straight and cross your right knee over the left in this position. You don't have to be on the block, you can be sitting on the ground. So those are the different options for you for your happy cow face. And for the arms, you're going to take them, the right arm is going to lead. You're going to do like we did in the beginning of our class. You're going to take the arm back at your waist and left arm over for the waist. You're going to come here, or you're going to use your shoulder blades and biceps to bring that right hand towards the left shoulder blade or your spine, and the right arm is going to go up, squeezing your bicep and holding here. So your choice on which one you want to do. Make sure you're not arching in your lower back. You want to be sitting on your sit bones, and you're going to be squeezing your thighs together. We're in internal rotation of the thighs. Long, deep breath, and you can stay here or exhale, forward fold. Long, deep breaths. On your inhale, slowly press down through the legs to come up. As you exhale, slowly release your arms. Remember to keep those elbows close to your torso to protect your shoulder joints. From here, you're going to move into easy pose. So you can come off the block or stay on the block, your choice. Bring your legs into easy pose. The right leg is going to be in front. And across the right leg in front of the left. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale, leaning forward. So now our thighs are in external rotation. You can use any kind of bolster between your torso and your thighs to give you some support, or you can put your forearms on a block in front of you, or just lean your forearms on the ground, your choice. Long, deep breaths.
On your inhale, squeeze your thighs toward each other and slowly come back up. From here, you can move into happy cow space straight from a seated position, or you can vinyasa through chaturanga, up dog, down dog. So I'll lead you through that if you wish. Inhale. Exhale, hopping or stepping back into your plank. You might have to kind of scoot forward on your mat, especially if you're towards the end of your mat. Exhaling through into your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Modifying where you need to. Exhale, down dog. On your inhale, look towards your hands, bend your knees, and hop or step forward into your happy cow face. Again, remember that one knee is in front of the other. Your feet are going to be away from your hips, and you're going to sit back into this position. Or if this is inaccessible to you, remember that you can take your right leg, extend the right leg out straight, and then just cross the left leg over so your knees are touching. And again, you don't have to be on a block to be able to do that position. So it's your choice which version of happy cow face you wish to be in, whichever is easier for your joints and your body, and positioning the block wherever you need to. We're going to take the arms into happy cow face position. So your left arm is going to lead this time. You're going to bring it back towards at your waist like we did earlier. Or you're going to use your shoulder blades and bicep to take that left hand towards your right shoulder blade and your right arm up and grabbing onto your fingertips, or just that sometimes the arms just sit there in space because you can't grab the fingertips. Take a nice, long, deep inhale. And you can choose to forward fold with your exhale or stay in the seated position. On your next inhale, push down through your legs to come up with your inhale. Exhale, release your arms. Again, remember to keep your elbows close to your torso to protect your shoulder joints. You can come off the block or stay seated on the block as you move into easy pose. And also remember, you can always put blocks underneath the knees if you need to. You don't have to have just the legs sitting out here in space, because sometimes you can't let the knee will not touch the ground like mine is on the side. Over here you can't really see it, but this left knee is lifted up, and I'm going to put a block underneath of it because my left hip is tight and it pulls on my left knee, which causes the knee not to want to get close to the ground on this side when the left leg is leading. So it just creates some problems, when I try to lean forward, and I don't want to cause any strain to my joints. So you're going to take a nice deep inhale and exhale, lean forward. And on this side, as you can see, I'm going to modify a little bit differently than I did on the right side, just because the left side is a little bit tighter. And that's perfectly okay to have one side where you modify and the other side where you don't. There is nothing wrong with that. You are just listening to what your body can do and just being kind to it and allowing it to be in allowing it to do what it can do within the parameters of what it can do. Taking long, deep breaths here. On your inhale, push down through your legs, come back up. As you exhale, you can choose to go through vinyasa again, or not. If you choose to go through vinyasa, you're going to bring your legs up. You're going to exhale into plank and chaturanga, inhale to your up dog, and exhale to your down dog. Once you're in your down dog, you're going to take your inhale and come back into seated position. This time we're going to do a seated forward fold.
You can choose to get a folded up blanket and sit up on it, raising yourself up just a little bit to decompress your hips just slightly. You can choose to sit up on a block as well, or you can even choose to put a block underneath your knees. Wherever you're at, you do want to flex your feet to activate your legs. You want very active legs, just like you would if you're doing a standing forward fold. The only difference is we're seated. All of this to protect your joints and also to protect your hamstrings, because that's what we're going to do is we're going to stretch our hamstrings. If you do not have your quads engaged and your feet engaged, your hamstrings are going to feel unsafe. Your neurological system, your brain is going to say that is going to feel like your hamstrings are unsafe, and it won't let you lean and release forward. So it's always best to make sure that your legs are engaged, especially the antagonist muscle, the opposite muscle. I am actually, because my hamstrings and my calves are a little bit tight today, I'm going to choose to put a block underneath my knees. If one block does not work, you can always do 2 blocks, one underneath each knee. Wherever you're at, again, you can always also sit up as well. You want to make sure you can feel yourself seated tall on your sit bones, so your spine is straight. If your spine is not straight, modify where you need to. You're going to keep your feet flexed no matter where you are. You can gently press your knees into the block if you have a block underneath your knees. Take a nice long deep inhale. You can reach your arms up if you wish, but you do not have to. Exhale, lean forward. You can reach for your feet or just rest your arms down on the ground or your legs. Your arms are not what's important, and your arms aren't actually going to help you here, and they should not help you here. You do not want to pull yourself forward with your arms. All that's going to do is strain your back. So you want to release the work in your back. Gently press down into the ground or the blocks, helping to activate your legs and help your hamstrings release. Letting your neurological system know that you are safe because you're protecting the hamstrings by using other muscle groups. And your neurological system can release the tension in your hamstrings. Taking long, deep breaths here. See if you can tuck your chin. Relaxing the shoulders. Trying to relax the muscles of your back as you keep your feet and legs strong. Every time you exhale, you can gently pull your belly button to your spine. Release it as you inhale, and then exhale, belly button to spine. Just feeling that support of your core also help you lean forward. And if you don't feel yourself leaning forward at all from where you are, that is okay. There is nothing wrong with that. It just means it's going to take a little bit more time to release forward. You're just a little bit tighter than you realize, and that's okay. It will improve over time. On your inhale, press down through the legs. Slowly come up. Take your time. Again, you might feel a little bit of blood rush. As you exhale, release your legs. Stretch them out wherever they are and just slowly shake them. You can even take your hands and just slowly rock and gently rock your legs from side to side, just relaxing them a little bit. The last seated stretch we're going to do is wide leg forward fold. Now, wide leg, the name of that can sound deceptive. It's really not really that wide of legs. You can have your legs just as wide as your mat. They don't have to be any wider than your mat, not at all. If you wish to, if you know that you can go further, you can go ahead and open your legs as wide as you comfortably can. Now, what I mean by comfortably is that you should be able to sit up tall on your sit bones with the spine straight and still be able to lean forward without your feet rotating in. We do want to keep external rotation here, slight external rotation of your thighs. So when you lean forward, if as you test this and you lean forward and your feet and your thighs rotate inward, that means that your legs are open too wide.
Bring your legs a little bit closer in, and you will still accomplish what you wish to accomplish. The point of wide leg forward fold is to release tension in the hips, release the hamstrings, and if possible, release tension in the inner thighs. But you may not be able to achieve that if your legs are closer together, and that's okay. You can do other stretches that help release the inner thighs. Today we're focusing on the hamstrings and the hips. And you can even have your legs only like if you can get your legs 180 degrees and still be able to do a forward fold and your knees and your toes face up, I would actually challenge you to see if you can do the same forward fold with your legs close together, and concentrate more on trying to release the hips and the hamstrings more than the inner thighs. Just give it a try and see what you want to do. See how that works. You have several different options for your arms when you're leaning forward. You can just let them rest on your thighs, your calves, or your ankles. You can reach for your big toes and challenge yourself. With any of these, you can challenge yourself in a flat back position, making sure you don't feel any strain in your back whatsoever, because your legs and your core are supporting you. If you get it, we're getting a theme here. Legs and core strong to support the torso. You can also have a block or two in front of you and lean forward there, continuing the challenge, or with yourself fully supported, you can choose to do a more relaxed torso. So, your choice. I'm going to challenge myself today and do a more flat back position. On your inhale, feel the nice long straight back. As you exhale, flex your feet, straighten your knees, and lean forward. Continuing to lean forward, breathing deeply, in and out of the nose. Keeping your feet and legs and core strong to support your torso so you do not feel any strain in your back. On your next inhale, push down through your legs and slowly come up. To bring your legs together, exhale, point your toes, roll your thighs inward, and slowly bring your legs back together. Good. All right, so now we're going to go into the counter poses, which means that we're going to be working our back. And we're going to bring ourselves to a belly down position. I can't remember if that's prone or supine. I keep forgetting sometimes. Anyway, so you're going to bring yourself into a position where you're on your belly. You can choose to just swing your legs around and just go right onto your belly, or you can choose to vinyasa through, and I'll lead you through that. So you're going to come up, you're going to swing your legs around or hop back with your inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And then inhale and exhale, coming to your belly. Now, I'm going to prop myself up just because I have the mic on me and I don't want to crush the mic against the floor and you not be able to hear me. But what you can do here to rest is you can rest on your forearms for just a moment. So you can rest there. Then what we're going to do is you're going to position your legs into an internal rotation. So your knees are going to be either straight down towards the ground or a little bit rotated towards each other, and so are your toes. What this will do is it'll help lengthen the front of your hips and allow you to more easily come into a back bending and back work position. The first position we're going to come into is Locust position. So your hands are going to be by your sides, palms down. This is another variation of Superman, except Superman, the arms are out in front of you, but this time your arms are back here. So you'll start with your forehead down. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'm going to engage your core to make sure that your hips are in neutral position. I'm going to press gently down and through your palms. Inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine, lift your head. Exhale, lift your legs. Keep your knees straight. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And bring your arms in front of you, forehead on your forearms. What this will also do is help to continue to strengthen your hamstrings as well. So we're strengthening the glutes, strengthening the hamstrings, because to be able to have flexibility, you also need strength to go along with it. On your inhale, next we're going to move into Sphinx pose. So you're going to open your arms out in front of you and slowly walk your elbows underneath your shoulders. You want to make sure that your shoulders are not up towards your ears. If they are, then maybe your elbows need to be a little bit farther ahead of you to make it easier to keep your shoulders down away from your ears. You also don't want your elbows behind your shoulders, otherwise you can't press up. You want to be able to have pressure in your elbows and forearms. So you want to press down into your elbows and forearms and also pull with your elbows and forearms so that your chest is coming forward, your shoulder blades are going toward your spine, and your chin can lift. You can also gently straighten your legs and feel your core engage. You should not feel a really hard squeeze of your glutes. You want to feel just a gentle engagement of your glutes. You don't want your glutes to take over. They're just a supporting role here. Your main working muscles to support your back and your hips are going to be your core. Long, deep breaths. A couple more breaths here. And then exhale, slowly lower down, resting. The last thing we're going to do is bow pose. So this is where you're going to grab onto your feet, and for some of you it's going to be hard to grab onto both feet at once, so you would do 1 foot at a time. You would just keep your torso forward, squeeze your shoulder blades toward your spine, and push your foot into one hand. Do that for 4 breaths, and then switch sides. But I'm going to demonstrate the full bow pose. We're going to do this twice so you can really feel it. So you can always open your knees out a little bit further too and bring your feet together. Sometimes it makes it easier to grab onto your feet. You can keep your feet pointed or flexed. But whatever position you are in with your feet, you want to really make sure you feel your leg muscles engage very strongly. On your inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades toward your spine and push your feet into your hands. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and slowly release down on 5. Last time for bow pose. And squeeze shoulder blades to the spine, hold for 1. Again, the glutes should not be your main workers here. You should feel your legs very strongly helping to pull you up. 3, 4, and release down. Walk your legs back towards each other. Flex your feet and just allow your heels to rock from one side to the other. Slowly releasing any tension in the back. Going to inhale, push up and back to child's pose. Again, you can choose to do supported child's pose with the blocks or not. Allowing the spine to gently stretch in the opposite direction. On your inhale, come up. We're going to do a little bit of a stretch. I have to fix my mat here. Sorry about that. It keeps moving on this carpet. All right, so last one we're going to do is a little bit of a stretch. Sorry, I've got an itch. A little bit of a stretch and into your back bend. So we're going to do hero pose or saddle pose. And you could also take this into a full back bending pose. And I apologize, I'm forgetting the name of that pose right now at this moment. So hero pose is where your knees are together, feet are apart. You can choose to sit back straight onto the ground or sit on a block. If this is too much for your feet or your knees or even your hips, you're going to open your knees out and and get your feet closer together, and you'll be more in saddle pose. So wherever you are, you're going to start by leaning back and reaching your knees down away from your hips. And you're going to be gently tucking your hips towards your knees, and you're going to slowly lean back. You can choose to go all the way down to the ground if that is possible, or you can get to where your elbows are on blocks, or if you have a wheel, you can use the wheel. I'm going to demonstrate with the wheel. Again, you're going to reach your knees away from your hips, tuck your hips towards your knees so you bring your hips into neutral position. You're going to lean back. You can hold on to the back of your neck, giving your head some support. You can reach your arms away from you. You can have your hands tucked into your feet, or you can open your arms out. I would recommend actually not to open your arms out into a T. I would keep your arms close to your torso. That will give your spine the best support. Taking long, deep breaths wherever you're at. You should feel a gentle stretch of your quads, maybe even of your abdominal muscles. On your exhale, tuck your chin, push into your hands and your forearms, and push yourself back up. You're going to keep your knees exactly where they are. You're not going to move anything with your knees. And you're going to lean forward in a child's pose, again, taking your spine in the opposite direction, allowing it to release and relax. On your inhale, come up. 2 more things we're going to do before we finish. We're going to come into tabletop, and you're going to move into your version of headstand. So it could be as simple as on your forearms, clasping your hands together, pressing your forearms into the ground, tucking your chin, keeping your knees on the ground, and coming here. You can also move into dolphin, which is here. Or you can move into pike, which is here. Or you can move into your version of headstand, meaning that your feet are off the ground, either tucked in, with your legs tucked in, or reaching your legs up to the ceiling. So move into your version that you wish to do. Get about 10 breaths in, breathing in and out of your nose. When you're done with your 10 breaths, you're going to exhale, slowly drop to your knees, keep your hands clasped together, and move into child's pose with your hands clasped together. This will give some support to your neck and allow your neck to release. Just make sure that when you're in headstand position that you don't feel any pressure into your neck. You should feel maybe a little bit of a gentle pressure on the top of your head, but you should not feel that pressure go into your neck. If you do, then you're not pushing away from the floor enough to give your neck some support. So that means you just need to come to a different version of headstand. On your inhale, come back up. Again, you can vinyasa through one last time. Chaturanga, up dog. Chaturanga with an exhale. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And then come into seated pose with your inhale. And move into fish. So fish is coming from a laying down position. You're going to slowly walk your hands underneath your hips. Squeeze your elbows towards your torso. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine. Come up to the top of your head. This is fish here. And you can bring your legs up to 30 degrees if you wish. Hold for 1. Modify where you need to. 2, 3. And then exhale, release down. You can move straight from here into your Savasana, or you can choose to finish the way I typically finish with my class, which is moving into supported bridge first. So coming to bent knees, lifting your hips up, shoulder blades towards your spine, arms in a bent or cactus position. And just you can hold here with knees bent. Or you can slowly walk your legs out as long as you don't feel any tension or pinching in your back. You can always flex your feet as well. That will help bring your hips into neutral position. Taking long, deep breaths and just resting here in this yin style of bridge. So we're doing supported bridge. On your next inhale, bring your arms back by your sides. Slowly walk your feet back towards your hips. Lift your hips up. Slide your block away. Lower the hips down. Then pull your knees into your chest. Giving them a nice tight hug into your chest. Feel free to rock side to side. Feel free to explore happy baby. You've always wanted to explore happy baby, but it's a hard position for you like it is for me. So take your hands behind your knees, open your knees out to wider than your ribs. Flex your feet. Make sure your spine stays straight so your tailbone is reaching away towards the bottom of your mat. And this is how you can explore happy baby without straining your back and feeling like you can't reach for your feet. On your inhale, bring your knees back together and come up to a seated position. Then you can come into supported fish. You have either a lower version, which the blocks are in a T position. So the first block, which is supporting your shoulder blades and your upper back, is going to be in its lowest position. The other block to support the base of your head is going to be in a medium position. Or you can bring the blocks into a higher position. So the first block is medium position, the second block is a higher position. Again, it's still going to be in a T shape. And you want to aim your shoulders for the first block. You don't want to aim the base, you don't want to aim your ribs for the first block because then you're going to get the block too low. You want the block to be positioned right here at the top of your, like right between your shoulder blades and your spine. So it's supposed to be supporting the area where the shoulder blades are. So I always say aim your shoulders for that first block and the base of your head for the second. I'm going to bring it down to a lower position because my neck has not been
happy with me recently. So shoulders for the first block, base of the head for the second. You can keep your knees bent, especially if you feel a twinge in the lower back. That'll help keep the lower back relaxed. Or you can straighten out the legs. You're going to keep your hands palms down by your hips so that the elbows can kind of come down towards the ground and forearms on the ground and rest there. You're still going to feel a little bit of a stretch in the front of your chest, an opening there. You're still going to feel your shoulder blades come towards your spine. But this gives you some more support, especially for the cervical spine. Long, deep breaths in this yin. Again, this is a yin position, a supported fish pose. On your next inhale, take the weight of your head into your hands. Bend your knees, tuck your chin to your chest, take a little bit of a stretch of your neck. And then press your elbows into the mat. Inhale, come up. And as you exhale, let's go ahead and move into full Savasana. If you wish, you can curl into a tight ball first. Taking a couple breaths here. And then slowly straightening out into your full Savasana. Legs straight, arms straight. Walk your shoulder blades towards your spine. Palms up towards the ceiling. Take a nice deep inhale. Sigh out of your mouth. Release tension. Again, inhale. And out of your mouth. Release tension. Last time. Inhale. And last time, release tension. And just stay there. Taking nice, long, deep breaths. As you're breathing, keep your mind gently focused on your breath, your inhales and your exhales. If your mind does get busy, wander away from your breath, that is perfectly okay. Just gently bring your thoughts slowly and gently back to your breath, focusing on your inhales and your exhales. And then take a moment to remember where we started today, focusing on how downward facing dog can be a renewing of our strength position and how God renews our strength. When we're waiting to hear from God, when we're waiting to get an answer, when we wait on the Lord, God promises that He will renew our strength. As we wait on Him, as we wait for the answers, as we wait to even know if the questions that we are asking are the questions He wants us to ask, as we're waiting to know if the desires on our heart are His desires, as we are waiting in stillness, but in active stillness, waiting to hear God's voice, He renews our strength when we feel like we cannot wait any longer. Remember that as you're here, breathing, feeling the floor absorb the weight of your body, providing the strength for your body to support you in this position of Savasana. On your next inhale, slowly wiggle your fingers and your toes. And sigh out of your mouth. Inhale, stretch your arms above your head. Bring your legs together and just take this nice long stretch of the body. And as you exhale, pull your knees into your chest, hugging them in nice and tight. If it feels comfortable to you, roll onto your side, resting your head on your arm. And then inhale, coming back up into a seated position. Let's bring our hands together into prayer, touching your thumbs to your heart. Taking a nice deep inhale and exhale, sigh out of your mouth. Let's do this breath prayer together. On your inhale, thank you, God, that as I wait on you, exhale, you will renew my strength. And again, inhale, thank you, God, that as I wait for you, exhale, you will renew my strength. Last time, inhale, thank you, God, as I wait in anticipation for you, exhale, you will renew my strength. Inhale, open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was wonderful to have you, and I hope you enjoyed this downward dog flow we did today. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.